Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and find out what it actually takes to become a professional beauty therapist. And how are we going to do that? Well, we've got our hands on an official student logbook. This isn't just theory, folks. This is the real step-by-step journey from the very first day. Okay, let's get into it. And right out of the gate, we get this amazing welcome from Janice Brown. Now, she's not just anyone. She's a huge name in the industry. She's managed salons, taught, and even co-wrote the Encyclopedia of Hair Removal. She really sets the tone here, reminding us that this is a serious, innovative, and super rewarding profession. So, you might think it's all about being great with makeup or knowing about skin creams, right? Well, this logbook tells a much, much bigger story. It maps out a journey that's probably going to surprise you, one that starts not with a bottle or a brush, but with some serious questions about, well, you. And this is where it gets really fascinating. The whole journey, the very first thing in this logbook, isn't about science or techniques. It's about you. The first step for any student is to figure out what kind of person they are and what kind of therapist they're going to be. So let's play along. Have a quick think. Which one of those words fits you best? Are you the creative type, the person who motivates everyone, the super organized one, or the person everyone can count on? Your answer here is the very first piece of the puzzle. Okay, question number 2 is all about your lifestyle. Do you have that travel bug, dreaming of seeing the world? Or are you more of a homebody, wanting to build something in your own community? Because, as we're about to see, there's a path for both. And for the final question, this one's a biggie. It's about your ambition. Fast forward 10 years. What's the goal? Because this isn't just about getting a job, you know? It's about figuring out where you want to end up, and that choice shapes everything that comes next. And boom, here's the payoff. This is how your answers could guide your career. If you're creative and love to travel, maybe you're destined for a cruise ship. If you're a motivator, you could be an amazing beauty demonstrator. Organizers, you're looking at being a business owner. And if you're reliable, you could become a top-tier senior therapist. The big takeaway here is that there's no single right way to do this. It's all about you. So after you've done a bit of soul searching, the training gets serious, and it gets serious fast. Before a student even thinks about touching a client, they have to master the science and the law of the salon. Seriously, this is the foundation of the entire profession. First up is something called HACCP, the Health and Safety at Work Act. And let me tell you, this is a huge deal. It's not a suggestion, it is the law. It means everyone, from the salon owner down to the brand new trainee, is legally on the hook for keeping people safe. Then you've got COSH. Just think about all the lotions, chemicals, waxes, and potions in a salon. COSH rules say every single one of them has to be stored, handled, and thrown away in a very specific, correct way. This isn't just about being tidy. We're talking about real chemical safety. Which leads us straight to PPE, personal protective equipment. The logbook is crystal clear on this. Employers have to provide things like gloves and aprons, and employees have to use them. It's completely non-negotiable, and it connects those big official laws to what a therapist does every single day. And his quote from Emma Piper, a qualified therapist, just nails why all this is so important. All these rules are about one thing: preventing cross-infection. That clean, professional look, it isn't just for appearances. It's a critical part of keeping everyone in the salon safe and healthy. Okay, so once that super important legal and scientific foundation is down, it is time to learn the craft. The logbook breaks this down into specific units, and each one is a core skill that a student has to practice, practice, practice until they've mastered it. Let's start with Unit 204, facial skincare. I mean, it's a classic, right? A foundational treatment. But don't let that fool you. What goes into a truly professional facial is, honestly, mind-blowingly complex. Just look at the level of skill we're talking about here. This is so much more than just putting cream on someone's face. Students learn how to do detailed skin analysis with a magnifier, different ways to exfoliate, safe extraction methods, and even multiple massage techniques. Every facial is a personalized, scientific procedure. All right, let's switch gears to another core service: waxing. In the logbook, this is called a bread and butter treatment because it brings in steady money. But the amount of technical know-how you need to do it safely is, well, it's surprisingly deep. A therapist has to know how to spot different hair growth patterns, pick exactly the right wax for the job, and know all the reasons they can't do the treatment, like if a client has a sunburn. And then they have to give detailed advice for aftercare. It's a precise skill that requires a ton of knowledge. So our student is now a scientist and a highly skilled technician. But that's not the whole story. The logbook hammers home a third, absolutely critical piece of the puzzle that separates a good therapist from a great one, the human element. And we're back to Janice Brown, who just says it perfectly. At the end of the day, this is a service industry. You could have the best technique on the planet, but if you don't have communication skills, if you're not flexible, if you don't have empathy, you're not going to make it. It's all about being there for your clients. And this really captures that idea perfectly. On one side, you've got the craft, all those technical skills. But on the other side, just as important is the care, the human stuff, like listening and building trust. A truly great therapist is a master of both sides of this equation. So after mastering the science, the craft, and the care, how does a student finally get across that finish line? Well, the logbook lays out the final steps to becoming a certified pro with total clarity. No guesswork here. And here it is, the final checklist. For every single unit, a student has to prove they can do the practical skills, pass the written tests, and get their assessor to sign off. Only after all that is done can they request their official certification. It's a tough, thorough process, and it's designed to make sure that anyone who passes is a true professional. Which brings us right back to our big question. After this entire journey, what really makes a great therapist? Is it the artist, the scientist, or the empath? I think the logbook makes the answer pretty clear. A real pro, a great therapist, has to be all three.